it a certain living to be an artist in the Netherlands?
No, not at all. Oh, in the Netherlands, you always have a payment if you're unemployed. So technically, I'm unemployed.
Okay, so you get the free money as other unemployed.
As Social Security. Well, 25 years ago, we had a thing in Holland called the BKR. It was a regulation from the government that everybody who was an artist could deliver their paintings every now and then. They would be locked in a big cellar, and you would get some extra money to buy new paint and canvases. But that was in the years that art was considered a very important thing, and right now it's a little lower rated. So that regulation is over. If I sell a painting now, and it's not on the black market, but it's regular, I have to not only pay taxes, but I also have to pay almost everything that I earn to the Social Security institution.
Okay, and then how the government tries to improve or help the artist now?
They do that mainly by subsidizing special projects. So you have to write a proposition for a special project that you want to do, maybe a trip abroad or a big exhibition that you want to do, and that requires some amount of money that you don't have. So they're all special things. It helps if you do something for people who are not from Holland, if you do something for the homeless, if you do something that is has connections with other countries, so through the embassy. Those are special projects that will raise the attention of the people that will that spend the money from the government. So
what lead did you do to start this branch?
Well, when I visited the art academy, I wasn't intending on becoming an artist of autonomous work, of free work, so to speak. We intended to become a graphic designer. So I studied graphic designing for 5 years, and then I was supposed to make my entry into the commercial world of advertising. I found out that the work that I made didn't really fit in the television world.
It was too artistic, maybe?
I guess so. And I also showed my work at some various graphic design studios in Holland, some big studios, and they all said, your work is special, but it's too personal. More or less by circumstance, but also because I am a bit of an idealist, I think. I want to save the world or make the world a better place. That led me to believe that art could change something. Instead of joining the system, I thought I might try and resist it or comment on it. And in general, I found my own work very satisfying to do, even though it was hard to make a living out of it.
Or what's the problem of the world, what you want to change or to make it better?
Yeah, that's a good question, which is hard to answer. Well, I can understand very good when people coming from the formerly communist countries say that the capitalist world is not paradise, you know? And maybe the communist world wasn't so bad at all because there was more friendship between people, the relationship between people were perhaps more intense. You were more dependent on one another, but that had a good side. Over here, our capitalist welfare made everybody to believe that they can lead their lives on their own as individuals, and that separates us really. So money is a very separating thing, and everybody lives for more wealth, even though they sometimes, or very often, don't know what to do with that wealth. And personally, I don't have that drive in me. I don't have the ambition to earn a lot of money because it never made me happy. It still doesn't. You need it to survive, of course, to buy a daily living, but it's not a goal in life for me as such. So I never found it difficult to live with not so much money, as long as I have enough to buy some new paint or, you know, support my children perhaps. So maybe it's my personal vendetta against the capitalist system. Could be.
And then what's your goal in life?
Well, I don't say that wanting to. I just read an article in a paper here, a little column of a famous, locally famous writer in Holland, Arnon Grunberg, who has a weekly word in the television magazine, and it's about greed. And he said that greed in itself is not bad. It's the way you apply your greed. What do you do with your money afterwards? Take, for instance, George Soros, one of the...
Can go if you
No,
want.
it's okay.
Just
I hope you will stop in a minute,
okay.
just by ignoring him. That's my little boy upstairs. Where was I? No, we'll have to...
Okay, just okay. You can go ahead.
So, I was talking about my resentment against greed, which seems to be a disease of our world today, and there seems to be no escaping from it. And well, this article that I just read commented on the idea of greed, and that everybody refers to it, to the actor Michael Douglas, who in the movie about Wall Street says that greed is good, and that's supposed to be the creed of our time, the sort of a sort of a philosophical idea of what we live for.
In your life, there is any moment when you thought that it's not the thing what you are gonna do, and
I fight that constantly.
still?
Yeah, sure.
Why is that?
Because I'm a person which is part of a system which I can't help.
Yes, but if you have something what you like, you should.
Yes, but you want recognition for it too. Everybody wants recognition for what they do.
And you don't get that?
In a small circle I do, but not in a wider circle, which I hoped. I have a website now and I hope that helps. I should have done that years ago, maybe. But I was never good at my PR, at the public relations of my own work. And I think that many artists have problems with that. Making something is one thing, but selling it, for my generation at least, that is very hard. I see a lot of young people who find that very less problematic to present themselves. I find that through Facebook and all those sorts of media, it makes easier for people to make a presentation of themselves as a person, even though it's not factual, not realistic. They make up a personality and believe in it anyway, and if others believe it, that's okay. So, and for me, that's very hard to understand or to be like that.
What does influence you?
Could be anything. Music, for instance. People that you meet, and your own children, your own family, for instance. I can't say in which way they are inspirational, but they are, because they fulfill your life and your being.
Mm-hmm.
I dream of them, I think of them, so they must be influential.
And what other artists?
Well, Picasso was a great influence to me, and I think to anybody in the 21st century, because he was, well, the big man of the 20th century who invented all sorts of new styles almost by himself. You won't find too many Vincent van Goghs these days anymore. People who work and work for years without ever selling a painting and then die in madness.
Mm.
It's impossible almost. If you're not successful, you're in the wrong business.
Mm.
So being successful and being being that people believe you as an artist, that's almost the same thing.
Mm.
So you have to be commercially successful in order to be credible, and that makes it very hard if you're not successful to continue and keep believing in yourself that you're an artist, because you're not successful and you're supposed to be.
Are you dealing with this
Of course.
problem now?
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
Everybody wants to be successful, don't they?
Yeah.
In what they do. I do too.
Try
So
to-
I suffer sometimes. But then when I'm working, I forget all that and I'm very happy.
Or your children, when they grow up and they decided to be an artist on any field, then
Like my oldest daughter right now.
she is
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
And do you support her to do this, or to try to suggest rather not, because it's
That would be strange, wouldn't it? doing something yourself
Yes.
and then saying to your kids,
But
don't do it.
you say you are suffering sometimes, and
Yeah.
would you want your children to suffer?
I see other people suffer in their jobs too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
They don't like the boss. They don't like the atmosphere at work. They think what they do is absolutely useless.
Mhm.
They dream of being 65 and finally doing the thing that they really want to do. I'm already doing the things that I really want to do. I have a lot of freedom, so I'm not having a bad life. I said to my oldest daughter, because she's at the art academy now, that I wouldn't advise it to anybody because economically you're bound to be a failure. But it could be that if you study graphic designing and you know how to present yourself,
Of course.
that you can get a good job somewhere
Mhm.
at a studio, which is not a bad living at all. So everybody's interested in making a buck, in making money. That is basically the idea. And trying to sell the other person something which they believe is art.
Mhm.
When in the meantime, nobody knows what great art is.
What is your favorite painting from yours?
My favorite
If you
painting?
have, yeah.
Two paintings of me are very dear to me, but I think they're more connected with certain moments in my life than I can judge their artistic level. Because
Mhm.
as the one who makes those things, it's very hard to judge if they're good or not good.
Does it ever happen that you lost your inspiration? I mean, for a while you don't
No.
get anything to paint or
Yeah,
deep,
sometimes.
deep
Yeah,
moment.
yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
And how can you deal with it? Or it's just gone by itself? Or you try to?
Well, you don't like it, of course, because you think something is going on which is not normal.
Mhm.
But I'm not so strict with myself that I would punish myself for not painting,
Mhm.
because there are so many other things that can feed your mind, like reading books or listening to music or going out for a walk in nature. I don't know what. You can do lots of things which may not be connected with art in a direct way, but they are in an indirect way. So I can't squeeze art out of myself if it's not there.
Mhm.
I can be in a bad mood and make nasty things, or sometimes I could be in a bad mood and make beautiful things all of a sudden, and I don't know where it comes from. So it's a mystery, basically, what goes on inside and what comes out. And that's the adventure of the whole thing. So if nothing comes, that's sort of an adventure too, actually.